Hello friends, a warm welcome. This is Sirisha. So today I'm here to share a concept on thoughts. So the reason behind why I share this topic is I have come across many people saying the same complaint, that is they're unable to control their thoughts during meditation or not in meditation, when they are not in meditation. So friends, so before going to how to control these uncontrolled thoughts, I would like to share the basic elements of the thought science. In general, thoughts are categorized into three types. So the first type of thoughts are called uncontrolled thoughts. Uncontrolled thoughts are the thoughts which are not under the control of the human mind. I'll just share an example. For example, you were sitting in a park on a bench and all of a sudden you felt to close your eyes, and you closed your eyes and you are experiencing a very calm and a peaceful state after closing your eyes. So suddenly in the park at a faraway place a dog started barking. So you happen to listen to the barking sound of a dog. So what will be the immediate reaction that the mind could generate, friends? Immediately, our mind, as soon as it listens to the barking sound of the dog, it starts to recollect the last instance or the last time it heard the barking of a dog. So when that comes into our memory, into that person's memory, immediately your mind starts recollecting the details about the owner of the dog. For example, the owner of the dog might be a person who is at your neighbor. He might be your neighborhood, right? So immediately when you think about the neighborhood, immediately your brain starts recollecting the information, his details, his salary and his working, his dressing style, his goods, his bads, everything. And if you both have any enmity or friendship, everything starts recollecting, right friends? After some extent of these recollections, again your thought, the mind will make you to shift to some other aspect of that person, his lifestyle, about his family members, everything, right friends? So if you observe this, just after all, a barking of a dog made you think these many thoughts. And if you go on discussing this, there is no end where the mind can stop you thinking, right friends? So these thoughts which lead to raise of a new thought from an existing thought are called chained thoughts. One thought emanates from the other thought, and these type of thoughts which emanate from the existing or the old thought are called chained thoughts. So these chained thoughts form uncontrolled thoughts. So friends, these uncontrolled thoughts must be controlled. If these thoughts are not controlled, they deprive your mental peaceness. So uncontrolled thoughts must be controlled. And the second type of thoughts are unaware thoughts. Unaware thoughts are the thoughts which run unknowingly, unawareingly at the background of the mind in spite of your engagement with some other activity. You might be doing some other work at the office or at home, right? You might be talking to some other person over phone. Still, your mind will be continuously running some thoughts, unaware thoughts in the background of your mind. For example, you were on your way to your home. Just consider, you were on your way to your home after your office working hours. So you are alone. So the first thing brain does is, or the mind does is, it starts recollecting the previous activities, the conversations you have with the persons, your colleagues or the boss throughout the day, right friends? After some extent of time, you realize that you were thinking something, and you will question to yourself that what am I thinking? Is this necessary here? This will be the question mark you ask to yourself. So these types of thoughts are called unaware thoughts. So these unaware thoughts must also be controlled. When these unaware thoughts are not controlled, then they deprive your thought power. They deprive your thought power. Thought power is a wonderful science which, when improved, when given some time, or when we enhance it, will help a human brain or a person to create their own reality, manifestation, right? So thought power is the science of manifestation. So when the thoughts, unaware thoughts are not controlled, then they deprive the thought power. So friends, unaware thoughts must also be controlled. And coming to the third type and the last type of thoughts are unconscious thoughts. Unconscious thoughts are the thoughts which are not aligned with the universal energy or the universal mind, otherwise called as a cosmic mind. So, unconscious thoughts are the thoughts which are not aligned with your conscious state. As you all know, we are all conscious beings. We are all conscious beings. We are pure consciousness manifesting in the human form. Right, friends? So the thoughts we release unconsciously, that is the thoughts which are against the universal energy or the universal mind, will reduce the consciousness of the being which is existing in this body. For example, the unconscious thoughts are nothing but negative thoughts. Negative thoughts are the thoughts which are not aligned with the universal energy. So friends, we must become aware of our thoughts, unconscious thoughts, and you have to control our unconscious thoughts. So these are the three types of thoughts, and these are the three categories of thoughts. Many of the thoughts, uncontrolled, unaware, and unconscious thoughts fall in. Well friends, so let me share what happens when the thoughts are not controlled now. When these unconscious, unaware and uncontrolled thoughts, if they are not under the control of our own being, so there are many drawbacks and there are many side effects because of these three types of thoughts. Right friends? So let us consider a small scenario. This scenario is in a classroom. There was a lecturer who was demonstrating about the power of thought science to her students. So, the lecturer asked the students to answer her single question. So, everyone agreed and she started demonstrating what her question is. The lecturer took a piece of chalk piece, right? A chalk piece, and she held that in her palm and she stretched her hand and stood in the classroom on the stage. So, the question the lecturer posed to her students is, "Dear students, please answer this. What happens to my hand and my body if I stand holding this chalk piece in the stretched hand for 1 hour?" The students in the class shouted loudly, "After 1 hour, my dear madam, after 1 hour, your hand starts paining." The teacher again continued her question. So, if I stand in the same posture for half of the day, what would be the case? The students again replied that, "Dear ma'am, your hand, your shoulders, and your back will start paining." Well, if I stand in the same posture for a one whole day, what would be the case? She asked. The students started answering, "Your body will completely start aching. It will be completely in a painful state." And the teacher again lastly questioned, "What if I hold the chalk piece and stand for 3 complete days?" The students in the class shouted loudly, "Ma'am, your entire body will shut down." Shut down in the sense it becomes like a stone. It becomes like a stone, dumbly. There will be activity running in the body, but your body will become like a rock. It will become like a rock. So from this, the teacher concluded that, dear students, the chalk piece which I hold in my hand is of no weight. It might be around some milli or nanograms. The external object, that is the chalk piece, which has no weight, I hold it in my hands. So this external object, on holding it for 1 hour, my hand started paining, and for 1 day my body completely started aching, and after 3 days my body will become like a rock and very dumb. Right? So this external object, which is of weightless, we can say it weightless because the weight of a chalk piece is nothing, right? So this external object, which can be observed with the naked eye, has affected the human body this much, right? It had affected the human body very terrifically that your complete body started shutting down. So now just have a look at the uncontrolled, unaware and unconscious thoughts which you carry in your mind without your knowingness, unknowingly. What happens to those thoughts which you have released uncontrollably, unconsciously, unawareingly? I guess I'm clear. The chalk piece, which is of no weight, has shown that much terrible impact on the physical body, which had a minute weight. But the thoughts also act the same way on your body. The thoughts which are run in the human mind uncontrolledly, unawareingly, unconsciously will also affect the human body. A question might pop up in your mind. Yes, of course, the chalk piece has got a certain weight, and maybe we can think that because of that weight, the human body is affected. But what about thoughts? Thoughts have no weight. But friends, let me tell you, thoughts do have a weight. That weight is assigned to the thoughts by the person who thinks that or who releases that thought. The more you release the thought, the more number of times you think about that, the more the weight that is assigned or given to that thought. The more weight it gains. The more you think, the more the weight you gain. You give it to the thought. That is how thoughts are also given a weight by a human. That is how when a weighted thing or a weighted entity is injected into the human body through the human mind, it affects our physical body. Dear friends, these uncontrolled, unaware or unconscious thoughts, whatever it might be, a thought when it is not controlled, it circulates within the human body and stagnates in the etheric body. As you all know, human body is a constitution of 7 bodies. One such body is the physical body which is visible to the naked eye, and this is the first body. And the second body is the etheric double or etheric body. In Sanskrit terminology or theosophical terminology, we term it as pranamaya kosha. The body through which the prana, which is nothing but the universal energy, the cosmic energy, enters into the physical body, that makes the physical body to survive and do its regular activities, is the pranamaya sharira or the pranamaya kosha, otherwise called etheric body. So this etheric body is the body that gets charged up during our sleep. For example, if you are tired very much and if you had a very nice sleep of around 1 or 5 hours of sleep, after that long period of sleep, you feel very refreshed. What is that took place within your body unknowingly that made you feel refreshed? That is nothing but the cosmic energy, that is the universal energy which is freely available for everyone, has entered into the physical body of that person without his or her awareness through the second body, that is the etheric body, pranamaya kosha.